everybody, Max here with your daily fix of gaming news. The Pokémon Company has issued an official statement on Palworld's many similarities, and IGN talked to some legal experts about whether or not there's a case here. Meanwhile, Microsoft just had some of the worst layoffs in video game history, and Horizon Forbidden West PC port has a release date. Let's get into it. Palworld, the survival crafting monster collecting game lovingly referred to by its community as Pokémon with Guns, has already attracted millions of players since it hit PC and Xbox last week, and unsurprisingly, its success and its resemblance to another monster collecting game has also attracted the attention of the Pokémon Company. In a statement on its official corporate website, the Pokémon Company states, quote, "We have received many inquiries regarding another company's game released in January 2024. We have not granted any permission for the use of Pokémon intellectual property or assets in that game. We intend to investigate and take appropriate measures to address any acts that infringe on intellectual property rights related to the Pokémon. We will continue to cherish and nurture each and every Pokémon and its world and work to bring the world together through Pokémon in the future." Now bear in mind, this could be in response to the Pokémon mod for Palworld, a totally unofficial fan-made project that replaced the game's Pokémon-like creatures with actual Pokémon and replaced the human characters with Ash Ketchum and company. That mod was quickly taken down, but aside from that, there's no denying that even if Palworld's gameplay is nothing like Pokémon, some of the pals in it do bear a resemblance to some of the titular pocket monsters. So a lot of people are wondering, should Palworld's publisher Pocket Pair prepare for legal trouble and make it double? IGN spoke to a few legal experts on the matter. Peter Lewin, a video game lawyer at Wigan, pointed out that first and foremost, that depends on where the Pokémon Company or Nintendo or Game Freak tried to take legal action, since intellectual property law varies across the globe. For instance, in the States, the fair use defense is notoriously permissive. Generally, the three questions asked are: 1. Is the original work actually protected by copyright? 2. Has the alleged infringer copied a substantial part or the heart of the original work? And 3. Are there any available defenses, like fair use or parody, for example? Ideas aren't protected by copyright, which makes game mechanics especially hard to lay claim to. Lewin explained, one company can't stop another from making a game about catching and battling monsters. However, if a company copies important aspects of how exactly another company expresses that game concept, like characters, story beats, names, etc., that's where issues can arise. In this instance, the main focus seems to be on the PAL designs and 3D models, rather than the game concept as a whole. Sam Castry, a copyright lawyer and avid Pokemon player, says that all comes down to similarity, and even if some of the PALs resemble certain Pokemon, that won't necessarily hold up in court. Castry explains, quote, "It's not enough to have a fire elemental dragon in the game. That dragon would need to closely mimic Charizard's design or be described with an amalgamation of the various Pokedex entries or something like that." So hypothetically, let's say one of Pokemon's rights holders decides to take Palworld to court. What are Pocket Pair's courses of action? Castry speculates, saying, quote, "They might change the game to alter or cut out the PALs that are seen as problematic. They might try to negotiate some kind of settlement or licensing arrangement, or they might be defiant and choose to fight the lawsuit. In that case, the first step would probably be to counter by filing a motion to dismiss the lawsuit, saying that the relevant PALs aren't similar enough to the relevant Pokemon." Game development and legal battles have one big thing in common: they are extremely time-consuming and expensive. Palworld has sold 7 million copies and counting, and that's just on Steam, so I'm guessing Pocket Pair probably has at least $100 million more to throw around than it did a week ago, but I'm guessing they'd rather spend that money improving Palworld than paying some suits in court to argue about whether or not one pretend animal looks like another pretend animal. I'm not a lawyer or a game developer, but I'm willing to bet it's cheaper to redesign some PALs than it is to square off in court against the full legal might of the most established video game company on the planet. If you want the full breakdown of what legal experts had to say about this whole matter, check out the write-up over on IGN, or if you'd rather just play Palworld and want some tips, check out our Palworld interactive map. We will keep you posted on the world of PALs in Palworld as this story develops. Moving on, Microsoft has laid off 1,900 employees from its video game workforce. While the global economic climate is definitely a factor here, this is also likely a repercussion of Microsoft's acquisition of Activision Blizzard and King. In a memo sent out to staff, Xbox boss Phil Spencer explains, quote, "As we move forward in 2024, the leadership of Microsoft Gaming and Activision Blizzard is committed to aligning on a strategy and an execution plan with a sustainable cost structure that will support the whole of our growing business. Together, we've set priorities, identified areas of overlap, and ensured that we're all aligned on the best opportunities for growth. As part of this process, we have made the painful decision to reduce the size of our gaming workforce by approximately 1,900 roles out of the 22,000 people on our team." We've been reporting on layoffs across the games industry pretty much every day. I think we reported on more of them literally while I was writing that story, and it's disheartening at any scale, but it's hard to not be just flat out disgusted seeing this many people left without work, especially when Microsoft scooped up Activision Blizzard for $69 billion, and the company is now valued at over $3 trillion, which is only the second company in history to do that. Anyway, alongside the layoffs are a couple of high-profile departures. Mike Ybarra, former Xbox exec who became president of Blizzard in 2019, and Blizzard's chief design officer and co-founder Alan Adams are also stepping down. On a related note, Blizzard's survival game, codenamed Odyssey, which has been in development since at least the beginning of 2022, has been officially cancelled. Hopefully everybody affected by these layoffs and all the other ones can get back on their feet soon. And finally, on a lighter note, Sony's parade of PC ports continues with Horizon Forbidden West, and we now have a release date for that version of the game. In a PlayStation blog post, a rep for Nix's Software announced the complete edition of the Horizon sequel, which includes the Burning Shores DLC, would be hitting PCs on March 21st. The PC port includes support for triple monitor setups, ultra-wide resolutions, DualSense adaptive trigger feedback, DLSS 3, and more. Forbidden West was pretty widely well received, and IGN's reviewer gave it a 9 out of 10, so if you weren't able to check it out the first time around, or maybe you were waiting to play it on a monitor wider than your peripheral vision can cover, your day is coming very soon. That is your fix for January 25th, 2024. For more up-to-the-minute gaming news, make sure you are following and subscribe to IGN wherever you like to watch. Thanks for tuning in. I will see you next time.